your culture, education, upbringing, beliefs, experiences, imagination, relationships, personality, and your values are some of the things that have not just eaten deep into your nature, but they have become your very nature. When was the last time you questioned any of these things? When was the last time you questioned how you think? Join me, Emmanuel Utomi, and my guests every Monday from 9 p.m. on PRZ 109.2 FM London on Paspektives, because how you think powers your worldviews, actions, and your ultimate reality. So, come on, let us explore alternative ways of looking at life's issues. Paspektives. What you already know should not stand in the way of what you could learn.
A very good evening to you, my dear listeners. You are welcome to the Prayer Rally Zone, PRZ 109.2 FM, and this is Paspektives, the show that is designed to take you one step closer to a better life. You are most welcome. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule to join me on what promises to be a really outstanding and an impressive episode of Paspektives. Thank you once again. I trust your week has been good and you've had a very lovely weekend. My name is Emmanuel, your host for this program. And if you are joining us for the first time, or this has just been out for quite a while, but you're just joining us back again, well, I'd like you to know a perspective is designed to encourage you to question how you think. And we say that the point here is that how you think actually determines your reality. And what that simply means is that the starting point of everything, of any form of change that you desire in life, must first of all start from your thinking. We are all aware that everything, as they say, is created twice. Every single event, every single item is created first in the mental realm, or in our case in the spiritual realm, before it is created in the physical. Which means that before you are able to achieve anything in physical terms, you need to have first of all seen it in your mind, in your mind's eye. Therefore, in order for you to make progress or to achieve that goal that you desire in life, you have to be prepared to first of all see it first in your mind and then create it, bring it forth into existence. The Bible says concerning God, it says it's the God that declares the end from the very beginning, which means before he even brings anything into existence, he has already seen it. When God said in the book of Genesis, let there be light, and light was, for him to say light was good, it means God already had a picture of what light would look like when it comes into existence. In that same way, unless you start questioning how you think, you may what you may not realize is that you are stuck, or you are where you are simply because of how you're seeing yourself in those situations. But by questioning how you think about your situations, how you think about your goals, how you think about your desires, and superimposing upon those thoughts the actual goals and the desires and the destinations that you would like, that way you are basically starting the process of moving down the line of achieving those results. Well, that's one of the things that Paspektives as a program is designed to help you achieve. The next point that Paspektives as a program is designed to help you achieve is that it is designed to get you to develop the habit of thinking differently. So it's not just about getting you to question how you think, but getting you to think consciously and to actually make it a habit of questioning your thoughts. You understand? To develop the habit of thinking differently, getting to the point where you question your beliefs. Beliefs they are like opinions or thoughts that you no longer question. And if you look at every single aspect of your life, I guarantee you there are certain beliefs that govern how you operate in those areas. If you look at your health, there's a way you see yourself in terms of your health, and that is your belief pattern for that area of your health. In terms of your relationship, there's a kind of person, the kind of relationship that you see yourself being in. There's a way you define your relationship. There's a way you have, there are certain things you have come to put in place in order to ensure that you experience a certain type of relationship that you feel you as an individual you deserve. And every time you experience something within your relationship that does not conform to the beliefs that you have about yourself or your relationships, what you tend to do is to question those things and kick them out. And until that relationship conforms itself to your beliefs, you do not give up. In the same way, you have thoughts or habits or thinking or beliefs about your career, about the way you do things, about your finances. In every single one of those areas, there are certain beliefs that govern your pattern of behavior, your pattern of conducting yourself. And I'm saying one of the goals of Paspektives is to get you to develop the habit of questioning those beliefs. Get to a point where you question those beliefs. Now, why would I want you to question your beliefs? It's not necessarily because those beliefs are wrong. No, actually, if you look at it this way, what you'd realize is that you are where you are in most cases because of the nature of beliefs that you have about yourselves for those aspects of your life. What that therefore means is that your beliefs are responsible for ensuring that you are experiencing certain types of results in this particular aspect of your life. Now, what it also means conversely is that those same beliefs that are responsible for ensuring that you maintain a particular type of result in this aspect of your life is also responsible for preventing you from experiencing any other type of result or outcome in that same aspect. Now, what that means is that in order for you to experience a different type of result in that aspect of your life, not only do you need to recognize the beliefs that you hold in that aspect of your life, but you need to also recognize how those beliefs impact on your thoughts and subsequently on your actions, which produces your results. What it therefore means is that if you're not happy with the type of results that you have been getting in this aspect of your life, then you need to go back to the root. And the root is not the thought itself, but the beliefs, because actually the thoughts actually feed into the beliefs. It's a circle and never broken circle. For able to believe that you hold about concerning this particular aspect and question those beliefs, identify them, question them, and then challenge them, then not only will you experience a different form of belief, but a different form of thought, and subsequently you will take a different type of action, and which will result in a different type of result. Someone once said, the very popular quote, that if we continue to do things the same way we've always done them and expect a different type of result, then that is one of the definitions of insanity. But you see, the challenge here is that for us to continue to do the same things the way we've always done them before is actually a function of the fact that we've been thinking about those situations exactly the same way we've always thought about them. So in order for us to do things differently, we need to start not only seeing those things differently, but we need to start thinking about those things differently, hence holding a different type of belief in those aspects of your lives. For example, if you feel that you deserve a worthwhile, very fruitful, very encouraging, and very loving relationship, and if at the moment you're not experiencing it, then you need to question the beliefs, what the basis of your beliefs are. What are the things that you're doing? How are you thinking about those relationships so that they are not producing the results that you want at the moment? By thinking about the things that you're doing as well as the things that you're not doing, by thinking about how the other person perceives that relationship and trying to align yourself to those things, in that way you're able to question and in any case challenge the beliefs that you have in those areas. So like I said, one of the basic goals for Paspektives as a program is to get you to the point where you develop the habit of thinking differently. And by thinking differently, we're saying getting you to the point where you are able to challenge your belief system, The third and final thing that Paspektives as a program is designed to help you achieve is to get you to the where you develop a progressive and a solution-based mindset. Things will always happen that will impact on your life, and sometimes, you know what, those impacts will be undesirable. But you know what, as an individual, you hold the prerogative of how you choose to interpret the things that happens to your in your life. No one can take away from you that capacity to interpret, or how you choose to interpret the events that life throws at you. Remember this, it is not what happens to you that counts. You've heard this before, but it is how you choose to think about and to interpret the things that happens to you that makes the difference. Now, why do I say that? To you happens to everybody else. But we all agree that the outcome, the results, and our responses to these similar circumstances or situations in life, they are different. Why? Simply because of how we choose to think about them. If by developing a progressive and a solution-based mindset, what I'm basically advocating for is this, that you see every event that life throws at you not as an end in themselves, but as a means to an end. Not as failure, but as a learning process, as a learning curve. Not an end, but a bend in the road to progress or to achieving the results that you want. The truth is this: at some point in time in life, you will not get the results that you desire. But you know, it is how you choose to see that particular event that would make a world of difference. For some, they see it as the end of the whole process, while for others, they see it as an opportunity to start again a little bit more intelligently. Obviously, no one can do that for you. One of the things I say to people is this: the door to your life, the door into your life, the door into your emotions, the door into your thoughts does not have a handle on the outside. I will say that again. The door that leads into your life, the door that leads into your emotions, the door that leads into your thoughts does not have a handle on the outside. Now, what does that mean? What it simply means is this, that nothing can gain access into your thoughts, into your life, into your emotions without your permission. That is, you are the only one that has the capacity to open the doors for those things to come into your life and take hold. Nothing comes into your life without your permission. absolutely nothing. So the feelings that you feel concerning what someone has said today is not a function of what has been said, but it's a function of how you have chosen to interpret those things. It's a function of how you have chosen to internalize those things. Isn't it ironic that sometimes people say one thing to you and you wave it aside? You don't even give it a second thought. Meanwhile, perhaps someone close to you, maybe a spouse or a close friend, says exactly the same thing, and you've held on to that statement for years. Why? You've let one in and you've let the other one go. What am I saying? In order to make significant progress in life, you need to realize that you hold absolute control over the interpretation of the events that go on in your life. You hold absolute interpretation over the things that you let into your life. You can actually get to the point where you decide to filter out the things that happens to you, to filter out the interpretation for the things that happen to you, as well as the things that do not happen to you. All again, it's your choice. But you know what? These are the three major goals that Paspektives as a program is designed to help you achieve in life. Once again, you are welcome to the Prayer Rally Zone, PRZ 109.2 FM, and you're on to Paspektives, the show that is designed to take you one step closer. And my name is Emmanuel Utomi. If you would like to be a part of this program, say you have questions or comments or topics that you'd like for me to discuss on this program, please feel free. You can get in touch with me. You can send me an email. You can send your emails to perspectives@przfm.com or tweet at Paspektives. And Paspektives is spelled as Paspektives. That is Paspektives. Or if you'd like to send a text, you can send your text to 0757 260 5435. That is 0757 260 5435. Right. For those who are usual listeners of Paspektives, one of the things you recall is that every month we look at a particular theme, and this month is not going to be an exception. But I'm going to start with a quote, and the quote goes this way. You see, it says, "My father will get ahead of me in everything and will leave nothing great for me to do." This was a quote by Alexander. You see, Alexander was born on the 21st of July 356 BC in Pella, somewhere in Greece, in those days in Macedonia. Alexander was the son of King Philip II of Macedon, and his mother's name was Olympus, the princess of Epiphras. You see, Alexander was born into royalty. Unfortunately for him, he was born at a time when the Greek states were in turmoil. And his father, the king of Macedon, Philip II, then had one goal. And his goal was to unify all the warring Greek states into one superpower. And as early as Alexander could remember, he realized that his father was a successful warrior. And the father went on to start unifying the states. He would go into battle and win. And as early as the age of 8 years, Alexander will sit in the palace at the foot of his father's throne and will observe palace diplomacy, palace politics, and he will observe how ambassadors from various clans that had been conquered by his father would come in to pay tribute to him. Alexander was very ambitious because he had a vision that was different from that of his father's. His vision was actually to take Greek culture to the world. But at a very early age, actually when Alexander was at the age of 13, someone wanted to sell Philip of Macedon, his dad, a horse. But the horse was so stubborn that nobody could tame that horse. And Alexander at this point in time actually hated his father, quote and unquote hate, because he felt his father would go on to, like a quote said, would go on to achieve all these things and leave him nothing to achieve. And as they haggled about the horse, Philip said he didn't want the horse. Alexander said to Philip that, look, I can tame this horse, and if I don't tame it, then I'll pay the trader for it. Alexander went on to tame this horse, and at the age of 13 started riding this horse. He went, and when his father saw this, his father realized that now this is a boy that is destined for great things. And at that age, his father sent him off to be tutored by the great Aristotle. And Aristotle coached and taught Alexander in things like public speaking, in medicine, in relationships, in politics, taught him about critical thinking and things like war. Now, at the age of 16, Alexander became a captain in the Macedonian army. And at the age of 20, precisely in 336 BC, Alexander became king of Macedonia after his father was assassinated by his bodyguard. Of course, on attaining the throne at age 20, one of the very first things that Alexander did was to wipe out all forms of opposition to him being on the throne. But you know what? Alexander died mysteriously at the age of 33. But before he died, he had achieved far more than his father could have ever achieved. In everything, he achieved much more greater conquest. History shows that Alexander, during his short lifetime, went to war about 70 times, and in all those times he never lost one battle. The kingdom he created spanned from all the way from the islands of Macedonia, covered the whole of Greece, most of Europe, and extended as far as Afghanistan, Pakistan, and went up right up to the edge of the borders of India. And these were days when there were no planes. He marched. Now, why have I chosen to recount the story of Alexander, albeit in a sketchy form? It's for one simple reason. This month, we're going to be looking at the topic of leadership. You see, in every sphere of life, the need for good and qualitative leadership is ever present. Even where the strictest of rules exist, people always exist. They always exhibit the need to be led, and for at least one person to be able to take the bull by the horn. Things are going helter-skelter around us, at home, in the educational system, in politics, in sports, in career, in institutions, in banking, in the banking institution, in the financial institution. Everywhere we see there's a need for leadership, for someone to step out and say, look, we're going to do these things. So in today's world, the room is actually thinning out for people who will just follow the rules. They are being pushed aside to make way for people who will chart a new course that will stir new waters, people who will brave the odds and provide a platform for unusual results. So there is therefore a need to develop effective skills to influence members or people to helping them achieve their goals with little or no exaction, while respecting each person's needs and desires and harmonizing those individual needs while bringing out their creativity and relevance. And this, like I said, could be in any field of human endeavor. But we see that there is a need for leadership, the right type of leadership in the world in which we are today. See, in our society today, we face a serious leadership crisis. All you need to do is actually look around in the church, in politics, in institutions of whatever form, in our health system. There is a serious cry out for the right type of people to step out and lead and provide the sort of leadership that is required to move things forward. And you know what? The family is not spared. Actually, you know what? The family is actually the best place, the greatest place where leadership is needed. In the past, we had leaders who had integrity and their characters were unquestionable. They held their characters at high esteem. And today, some of our leaders some of them still possess these striking leadership qualities, or some striking leadership qualities, but sadly, most have lost the art of true leadership. And what we face today is a selfish leadership which has turned our society upside down. As the leaders of tomorrow are sought, there is a serious need for us not only to grow the right type of leaders, but to ensure that they are imbued with the right qualities that they need to lead the future. You know, if we don't have the right form of leadership today, then there's going to be a problem for tomorrow. If we go back to the story of Alexander, actually he is popularly known as Alexander the Great because of the great things that he achieved. And we're going to be using his life as a basis for some of the talks that we're going to be having on this series. We're going to be examining different aspects of his life to draw out qualities that we want our leaders of today to imbibe. And you know what? Before I go any further, you might be listening to this broadcast and say, oh, he's talking about leadership, so that really doesn't have anything to do with me. No. You see, you are a leader in your own capacity, in your own right. Because, you see, leadership is not position. The fact that you don't have a position or a title attached to your name does not mean that you're not a leader. Actually, have you realized that some people or some of our leaders, their names have gone on to become titles in themselves? That is, you mention their name seems to be the brand, the leadership, the quality of leadership in the very field in which they operate. While on the other hand, there are individuals that if you mention their names without the title in front of it, nobody knows who they are. Why? Because they are only recognized because of the title. And that is not leadership. Leadership is not title. Leadership is not position. Leadership is not manipulation. Leadership is not about how you are able to hoodwink, cajole, coax people to do things that otherwise they shouldn't be doing or wouldn't want to do simply because you want them to do it. Leadership is not about intimidating people. Leadership is not about using what you have to whack them on the head to get them to do things. No. So the question is this. I've talked about what leadership is not. So the question is, but what is leadership? You see, leadership is actually that ability to guide a group of people towards the achievement of a goal. I'll take that again. Leadership is the ability to guide a group of people towards the achievement of a goal. You see, your ability to get a group of people together, or even one person, and get them to operate in such a way that they are able to go on to achieve their goals, or actually a goal that they had initially felt was out of reach, is a good leadership move. So, once again, leadership is the ability to guide a group of people towards the achievement of a goal. Our time is fast spent, and as I close, I'd like to leave you with this. Whatever happens as you go into this week, I need you to do something, no matter how small it is, that you know will move you in that direction that you desire. And as you do that, I know God will bless you. Thank you for listening, and look forward to getting you to be on this station same time next week. And until we meet again, I'd like to say thank you, bye-bye, and God bless.
Your culture, education, upbringing, beliefs, experiences, imagination, relationships, personality, and your values are some of the things that have not just eaten deep into your nature, but they have become your very nature. When was the last time you questioned any of these things? When was the last time you questioned how you think? Join me, Emmanuel Utomi, and my guests every Monday from 9 p.m. on PRZ 109.2 FM London on Paspektives, because how you think powers your worldviews, actions, and your ultimate reality. So, come on. Let us explore alternative ways of looking at life's issues. Perspectives. What you already know should not stand in the way of what you could learn.